Michigan Magazine is kept on the road by our many Michigan friends. Cops and Donuts Bakery, downtown Clare, a winning combination. Cops and Donuts. Thunder Bay Resort, a destination for all seasons with special events and packages. Thunder Bay Resort in Hillman. This week on Michigan Magazine, join us as we visit a wondrous dream come true if you're interested in herbs, spices, and everything natural. It's a place called Wintergreen, and it's a Michigan Magazine classic revisited in the beautiful northwestern hills of northern Lower Michigan. Then it's dreams of sunny beaches and tropical places as we visit the home studios of Mount Pleasant artist David Ellis. Join us as we travel down Michigan's back roads to visit the true Michiganders on this edition of Michigan Magazine. Cops and Donuts Bakery, downtown Clare, what began as a crazy idea among 9 police officers to purchase the historic Clare City Bakery quickly became an international phenomenon, carrying on a Michigan tradition with delicious donuts, pies, pastries, breads, original coffee, and more, plus a full menu at the new adjacent Traffic Stop Diner. Downtown Clare, a winning combination. Cops and Donuts. Clemix Sales and Service on Mapes Road, west of Mile, your complete recreational vehicle sales and service connection. Visit their beautiful showroom of new and pre-owned ATVs, lawnmowers, power equipment, snowmobiles, utility vehicles, and more. Clemix Sales and Service is also the home of the American-made Victory motorcycle line on display at Clemix on Mapes Road, Mile. I know a place where the wild thyme blows, where oxlips and the nodding violet grows, quite over-canopied with luscious woodbine, with sweet mush roses, and with eglantine. No more accurate words could be used to describe this unique place along Michigan's backroads. Even though the words are hundreds of years old and penned by William Shakespeare for his play A Midsummer Night's Dream, it describes precisely a place known as Wintergreen. Welcome to Wintergreen Herbs and Potpourri, a family-owned and operated business, the brochure tells us. Located on a scenic hillside between Petoskey and Charlevoix near the hamlet of Bayshore. Here amongst an ancient apple orchard are beautiful themed gardens that are literally sensual delights. Within these gardens, planted in the traditional German method of intensive square-foot gardening, you'll find themes such as medicinal, Shakespearean, fragrance, biblical, dye, and culinary. Michigan Magazine visited with Mary Lee Huber and her sister Alice. Here we learned of the family's inspiring story of a business dream come true, which eventually, over the years, bloomed into Wintergreen.
11 years ago, my sister Alice and I had an idea to start a business, and we started it in the basement of our home, my home actually, and wanted to sell things that were handcrafted and nature-made, specifically potpourris and dried reeds and that kind of thing, and basket arrangements. And we used to do a lot of art shows, and now we're pretty much right here at our building.
And everything is grown from scratch, herbs, flowers, everything. Tell us a little bit about your crop or your growings here, if you could.
Well, every spring we go downstate after ordering thousands and thousands of plants and pick up. We like to grow from plants because our growing season here is very short. We plant, I don't know, thousands or 2,000 plant and sell them also. But our theme here, we have 32 themed tour gardens, and that ranges from medicinal gardens to fragrance gardens to Shakespearean gardens to butterfly garden to biblical garden. And what that basically means is that everything that's planted in there is mentioned in the Bible, for example, like flax or melons or cucumbers, or what else is mentioned?
Oh, like Shakespearean, all the herbs from the Shakespearean plays, the non-poisonous one.
What led you into the herbal area? I mean, how did you decide this? I mean,
well, my husband was a science major many, many years ago, and he specialized in plant physiology and things on that order, and I sort of studied along with him, and of course that was more like 25 years ago, and we were also vegetarians, and we had to learn how to cook without meat, and because food can be very bland without it, and so we naturally went into studying the culinary herbs so that we could add flavor to our foods. Well, he went out into politics, and I stayed out into the plant world, and here we are today.
How big of a parcel of land do we have here that you work with every year?
Well, we plant about 4 acres, but we have 12 acres here. We go all the way back to those tall trees in the back, and it'll get there eventually.
How long have you been in existence now? I mean,
this is our 11th season.
And it's grown quite a bit from the very first time.
Oh, very much so. I remember what was it, 3 years ago, when we decided that we had really been discovered when the traffic never stopped.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's kind of a word-of-mouth type thing?
Very much so, but I do a lot of promotion. We have Arts and Herb Festival every August, the third week in August on a Tuesday and Wednesday. We invite about 20 artists to come, and they're people like tinsmith and blacksmith and soap makers and paper makers. And then we also have an Artist Day where they come and they paint the gardens, all local artists, famous artists, if I may say so myself.
The children also pick the flowers, the children who help us begin this business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the two kids.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. This is a big family business, then. I mean, this is.
I couldn't have done this without my family, because I started this with $2,000, an idea, and a lot of help from my family. I remember being in the basement of my Michigan basement. It's a real Michigan basement, sitting down there making little wreaths to take to art show, and my mother would be down there with me at 10 o'clock at night, and Alice would be at home in her house making things. And we worked a lot of hours, 14 to 18 hours a day for a long time. It's only been in the last 2 years that we've taken time off in the summer.
People are getting more back to the earth, and
they are. Well, they're really just starting to get into them too. Mostly they were into the culinaries. You know, everybody needs to eat, and everybody likes flavor, and everybody likes food. Now they're starting to look at other of the plants, like the medicinal and the plants that were biblical, and and so they're expanding, and that's really nice for us because we've been studying it for about 30 years actually.
Cool.
And these gardens are free to tour. They're not charged to come in here. They can come anytime they want and just enjoy.
Mm-hmm. And you can come in here and enjoy it just by looking at them, or the fragrance, the aroma of the area, and this has got to be a labor of love for all of us.
Oh, it is.
Can't do it without our husbands.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Backing us up all the time.
All the time they're backing us up.
You've got to have a lot of family support and family understanding. Of course, that's what the business was pretty much based around, was to spend more time with the family, wasn't it?
That's right. When we started, I had originally been selling and designing advertising for about 18 years, and after 15 years, my husband and I unexpectedly had a child, and I wanted to stay home and raise him, and it wasn't quite enough for me, so I developed a hobby into a business, and here we are.
And here it is.
Yes. And I dragged her with me.
But you love every minute of it.
Oh,
though,
definitely. Now, yeah, definitely. I'm addicted. Can't stop. Love it.
Bet you meet a lot of interesting people from different backgrounds that are getting
All
into
over
this
the
type of
world.
thing.
We had some people here from Russia. We've had them from Japan. We've had them from, as a matter of fact, we've pressed a bridal bouquet from a lady in Russia. So we just had them from all over, haven't we? All over the country.
Definitely.
What type of things do you find uses for your plants and your herbs? I mean, there's potpourri and there's edible culinary
Right, and for wreaths, and like in my hand here, we pick and harvest all of these, dry them, and then put them in the wreaths. And yes, we dry them. We have a dryer in there that my brother-in-law Bill made, and after they're all dry, we put them in the potpourris. We press pansies for Bullfrog Light Company candles. Herbal edible wreaths, so that when you pick your herbs, you put them in the wreath, and then they can pick it off and put it into their soups, their stews, whatever.
Or just use it as an arrangement.
That is interesting.
And it's also medicinal too.
Tell us a little bit about that, medicinal herbs. Can you tell us, enlighten us about that?
Well, I've been studying medicinal herbs for a long time, but I've just recently been taking some classes with Rosemary Gladstar, and she's out of Vermont, and she's one of the doyens, if you will, of medicinal herbology, and that's becoming, I think, the largest area people are interested in, because it's kind of a holistic approach to helping yourself stay well. We don't prescribe for anybody. I don't want to get into that area, but there are many books that you can read and sort of self-help, and of course we'll hear the plants if you want to buy them.
Oh, we've heard about the more popular plants for medicinal purposes like ginseng and golden seal. Is there any others that were surprising to you to find? That,
oh, sure.
in the Michigan?
Common mullein is I've got some growing in the medicinal garden right over here. It was very surprising to me to be a plant that was recommended as an earache medicine. Yarrow, Achillea millefolium, is a plant that is a styptic. It stops the flow of blood. I mean, all of us have used it to dry things and used in arrangements, but until she cut her hand one day and said, "Do you think we should try this out?" And I said, "Yes," and she put it on there, and it stopped. It was she had to go get stitches, and it stopped the flow of blood, and went in and got the stitches.
It even numbed it, so I didn't even feel him put the stitches in. It was great stuff.
Yeah, and
plankton. For bitings, for stings, nettle. We have nettle.
Yeah, stinging nettle, which we were very surprised was high in a lot of vitamins. And chickweed, another one, chickweed, high in calcium for women and men who need calcium. Just drink it as a green drink. Birch. a common acetylsalicylic acid, aspirin.
Right.
You know.
It's interesting to look around you. People kind of let this slip aside as progress in the modern medicines came into being, but
Yes,
if you
they
look
did.
back into the history, you'll see that people dealt with this in their own way, and it was right under their feet. And the Indians and the pioneers, they did with what they had.
Oh yeah, I think modern medicine has overlooked a lot of these plants, and a lot of it's just negligence. Just negligence. It's still there and still, you know, available to all of us.
Yes, and thanks to Wintergreen, we can all perhaps learn and appreciate what nature has bestowed upon us. Of course, a journey through the gift and art gallery will echo that same sentiment as they feature the artistry of those that make Michigan their home. The arts and crafts of those that are just up the street or around the next corner are yours to discover, along with the wonderful gardens that surround you. It'll delight all the senses. Wintergreen, a delightful new discovery along Michigan's not-so-traveled back roads.
Program support provided by Thunder Bay Resort, offering a winter getaway where sleigh bells echo through dense hardwood forests. Guests can experience a search for the majestic and elusive elk viewed from horse-drawn sleighs, then return to a welcomed fire, gourmet dinner, and tales of the day shared over a glass of wine from nearby Stony Acres Winery. USA Today calls the sleigh ride at Thunder Bay Resort one of 10 great places to ride into a Currier and Ives, located in Hillman on Michigan's Sunrise Side.
The Michigan-made rebounding mailbox pull. Never again worry about the winter snowplow taking out your mailbox with this ingenious rebounding pull. Your mailbox takes a hit and keeps coming back year after year. Call now or visit their website, toughmailboxes.com. Experience the beauty, artistry, and taste of northern Michigan. Come to Amish Country Natural Products on Mount Tom Road, north of Mile, just off M33. From arts and crafts to fresh foods and vegetables, all natural, all local, all good. Stop by and get acquainted with Amish Country Natural Products, 1454 North Mount Tom Road, Mile. Remembering good times and great food, Frank and Lisa invite you to Tin Lizzie's in Mile for a blast back to the 50s and 60s when food was made from scratch, including home-ground Angus burgers. A full menu of great food and good memories await you at the new Tin Lizzie's of Mile.
We are with an artist extraordinaire. I am enchanted with your work because it brings so much optimism, I think. Whenever I saw your artistry, it brightened my day, and I just can't stop looking at it. You use a lot of color, don't you? You love color. Tell us a little bit about that.
Love color, especially tropic stuff, like the blues and the greens, how they mix.
Yeah.
And anything that stands out.
Yeah. Well, how long have you been interested in art? Tell us a little bit about your background.
I didn't get started in painting until after high school. As soon as I got into the last year of high school, I got into painting, and it's been over 30-some years. I can't believe it.
Oh boy, did you have instruction in school? Where did you get your instruction?
Well, most of it's self-taught.
Self-taught, okay.
Yeah.
All
A
right.
lot of frustrations over the years.
Yeah, yeah.
I managed to teach myself how to draw and paint. I like to do nautical stuff, anything nautical. And it came from when I lived up in the UP. We lived on a little place called Toivola.
Okay.
And it was near Agate Beach. And I spent summers and summers on the beach and stuff. And that's where I got most of my inspirations from. And plus, watching Walt Disney.
There you go. Disney is a little inspiration.
Yeah.
Interesting. I see you also love the Beatles. Tell us a little about your love of the Beatles.
I've been a Beatles fan ever since they started. And every Beatles song that comes out, I know where I was at that time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like, there you go. I know where I was when that came out.
Yeah, I remember Hey Jude, where I was at that time. How do you get inspired? What do? Do you take photographs? Do you lay it out? What's your procedure?
Well, I take a lot of photographs, but a lot of it is in my mind. I have a lot of ideas in my mind constantly. Like this morning, I have an inspiration in my head for a black and white picture of zebras.
Oh.
So I'm going to do a black and white picture of zebras. It's just the inspiration. I always compare it to a singer who writes songs, you know, and that's how I get my inspiration.
And then you You do photographs, you do sketches, or you just get right into it and do it?
Sometimes it comes right out of my head. I don't even use a photograph. Sometimes I have it in my mind and I just start drawing it and away we go.
But there again, when you think of zebra, you think of black and white. And I think of you as color, but I also think of you as stark contrast as black and white, and the things that stick out in your mind, they're very definite colors or black and whites.
Well, you can make a black and white picture stand out too. You know, it's dependent on the darkness. I know there's a lot of people that say, especially my Dolphin Cove pictures, they'll say, oh, don't put the black in there, but it makes the rest of the colors stand out. So that's why I do it.
Yeah, and I see some of your pictures we were looking at over there, you're black and white, and you had a splash of color in those.
Yes, I like to do that.
Yeah.
It makes it stand out.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got that bit of Disney in you. You draw attention to it, and it gets you closer, and you can't not know it's in the room. But your artwork is being, taken up and acquired by quite a few people, but they really can't put the face with the artistry yet, can they?
No.
I mean, this is something that you're just beginning to do.
Yeah, like when I took my stuff to Ludington this year, people were going by and they're, wow, where are you? But I always said that my artwork sells it, because the person behind it, it's nice, but I've always let my artwork talk for me.
Now, how long have you had your artwork out in front, center stage, more or less? I mean, letting people really see it as far as
well, the last 3-4 years I've been. I donate pictures to the Red Cross, and we have an art reach in town I've donated pictures to, and that's the one way to get
get noticed, and get help and give back to what you have been given in talent, you know.
And lately I've been doing pictures of people's houses for them around the area, and I'm doing historical sites, like remember Jim Holton?
Oh, sure.
I've done 3 pictures for him.
He's at the Mountain Town Station, right? Yeah, and we've featured him, and there's a lot of history in that station down there.
Oh yeah, I've done that station probably 4 or 5 times.
Really?
And I think I've always come back to the nautical stuff.
Right.
Yeah, like my one friend, he's always saying, well, you got to do all the historical stuff. But I said, yeah, I can do the historical stuff, but I says, it's always got to be the nautical stuff. Because I think my uncles, they were fishermen up in the Great Lakes. And I think I had a lot to do with it too, because when I spent my summers up there, I'd be around them, and I'd see the fishing and the netting and stuff, and it just inspired me. And I love scuba diving. I haven't learned how to do scuba diving yet, but I plan on it. Yeah.
Do you have any favorite work that you've done so far that you look back and you say, boy, I really like that one? Or is it an unfair question, just like saying what's your favorite child?
No, I actually do have some favorite ones. I think a couple of them that I did of the Beatles was real good. And I had a collage one that I sold at an auction at the Broadway Theater here in Mount Pleasant. And it was a collage of the Beatles, and it took me probably 2-3 years to finish it, but it was real inspirational.
Well, the Broadway Theater here in town that's another one with a lot of history.
Oh yeah.
They've done a lot with that, haven't they?
Yes.
Where do you picture yourself in 30-40 years?
Probably on a beach somewhere. I've always kidded my wife. I says, I'll be in a wheelchair, you can wheel me out to the beach and I'll put my feet in the water.
There you go. Yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure to come down here and meet you, Dave, and finding out more about your world of artistry and beautiful color. See a lot more of him and a lot more portraits and pictures, and you're going to put that face with that picture that you see. They're out there, but now we know who did them.
Yes.
Well, thanks, Dave, for appearing on Michigan
There
Magazine.
is a Dave Ellis.
There is a Dave Ellis. Okay.
Announcing the Michigan Paddle Sports Directory, your one-stop internet connection. At MichiganPaddlesports.com, it's now possible to explore Michigan's extensive waterways like never before. Michigan Paddle Sports Directory is a comprehensive directory of canoe and kayak rentals and liveries throughout the entire state of Michigan. At MichiganPaddlesports.com, you'll find a great paddling route, outfitter, store, school, rental shop, or tour guide. Michigan's great waterways are waiting for you. Make it an adventure worth remembering by first visiting MichiganPaddlesports.com. That's all the time we've got for this edition of Michigan Magazine. Thanks for joining us. Now's the chance for you to win by sending this week's word of the day to iwatchmichiganmagazine@gmail.com. And the word is this small UP town that was inspirational to our guest David Ellis, Toivola. Send it to us by email or to Michigan Magazine, Box 424, West Branch, Michigan 48661 for your chance to win. Have a great week. We'll see you here next week for another edition of Michigan Magazine. We'd like to thank all those that help keep Michigan Magazine on the road. Cops and Donuts Bakery, downtown Clare, a winning combination. Cops and Donuts. Thunder Bay Resort, a destination for all seasons with special events and packages. Thunder Bay Resort in Hillman. Borch Healthcare of Rose City and West Branch. Skilled nursing and rehabilitation facilities in beautiful northern Michigan. The Rose City facility is a leader in dementia care, specializing in the treatment and care for those with Alzheimer's. For more information or to schedule a tour, call us now. Rose Valley Winery on Beechwood Road in Rose City. See what thousands are raving about, creating a delicious variety of award-winning Michigan wines. Stop by and taste for yourself. The taste of Michigan is yours at Rose Valley Winery. Rose City Drug, just south of the Rose City city limits at 2640 North M33, featuring a state-of-the-art, completely automated and extremely accurate computer-filled prescription process. Hale Hardware, your do-it-center in Hale, Michigan. Much more than a regular hardware store, providing everything you need for whatever your project is, along with a knowledgeable sales staff to get her done. Serving northern Michigan since 1946. Hale Hardware, south of M65 at Ainsley in Hale.